Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Haven of Horrors after a fairly long hiatus. Sorry about that. We've had some health and personal things to go through. I'm going to start by saying that we are down a couple of players today. One of our players, Birdie, who's been playing Maria, got an amazing opportunity to work in their field. They're like doing work in costuming, but that does not allow them to play with us anymore because of their work schedule. So her character will be transitioning out. I am planning a special one-shot for us to give Maria a proper send-off. I will give you some more information about that once we have things scheduled. It will probably be on a different day than our usual playing day. Other than that, Ari is not with us today. He might join partway through if whatever is keeping him busy lets up. But for right now, we only have two players. And next session, a new player will be joining us to fill Maria's seat, since this game can be quite difficult with the less investigators that you have, essentially. But welcome back. I'm Rue. I will be your facilitator and game master. The name that I picked for the system I wrote is narrator, and I didn't say either of those. It's going good. I haven't done this in a while. I will be your narrator for today. And would you like to go next, Kestrel?
Cool. My name is Kestrel. I use sie, them, theirs pronouns. And that is Scout. And we use he, him, his pronouns for him because he has not told us otherwise.
And Ro?
Hey, I'm Ro. I use they, them pronouns, and I'm playing Alina, who uses she, her pronouns.
Oh, I use they, he pronouns, and I just straight up didn't say that. Clearly, I'm doing.
We've been out for a while.
I forgot to say that I'm playing Apia. They use they, them, theirs pronouns.
Off to a great start.
Yeah, we're trucking through today. When we last left our investigators, we were actually halfway through a case.
Yeah, that'll make it easier.
Yeah, it's going to be really good. We were halfway through a case featuring the statement giver, Corbin Rex, who had recently started attending a new gym that offered special fitness plans for LGBT folks and gender nonconforming folks so they could feel safe in gym spaces, things like that. But noticed after having spent some time at this gym that they were bulking up in a way that he didn't necessarily expect to bulk up, including but not limited to new muscles and new bones. Not exactly what someone expects to get when they're at a gym. And so he had been checked into the, for lack of a better name, spooky wing in the hospital that you frequent in terms of either checking folks in or needing to get some help yourself. And so you all went to visit Corbin and sort of talk to him about his experience and what might have happened to him at the gym and other things that were happening recently. And Maria, using her connection to the flesh, attempted to sort of reverse some of the effects of the gym and its practices on Corbin. And in doing so, gave herself all of those extra bones and things in places that she didn't quite want them. She didn't succeed as well as she liked to in removing those bones, and so they are currently causing Maria a bit of discomfort. But Corbin's looking a little better. You also, while you were here, went to go and visit a couple of the other folks in the hospital wing, including the person that Vivian mannequined back a few episodes ago. Apia went and checked in with her, and they shared a pretty good connection in terms of feeling a little bit disconnected from what they would possibly consider normal. You also were reminded that Danica, the young woman who the Desolation cult had an unhealthy interest in, was removed from the hospital during a drill, and has not been returned, so feasibly has been either left of her own accord or has been absconded with by parties unknown. But yes, you have. I think you did everything you wanted to do at the hospital. Yeah.
Yeah, and we were going to check the gym.
Mm-hmm.
Unless I'm forgetting something, which is possible.
It's possible. It has been a month. I will preface this statement with the fact that the most common content warnings in this particular case are body horror and descriptions of muscle and tissue and bone growth and things like that. So mild body horror and gore, no like evisceration or anything like that, but just the notion that your body is not necessarily in the shape that you want, body dysmorphia, talk about body image, and then gyms and exercise. There will be no discussion of weight and weight related things, but just sometimes gyms themselves can be like a trigger. So I want to make sure that everyone is safe. If those things tend to trigger you or make you uncomfortable, please feel free to take a step back from the statement. Your safety means much more to us than anything else. Yeah, so you have successfully talked to Corbin, whose voice I don't remember, so when we talk to him again, it'll be entirely different. If you talk to him again, I guess. You don't have to. And he gave you the name of the gym that he frequents. It's called New Shape Fitness. And it is down in Old Town. So sort of like downtown in the older district of town.
Right. I have a very specific gym from my hometown in mind.
I'm so excited to hear what your specific gym looks like.
It's the same gym that I had in my mind while I was listening to that episode of the Magnus Archives. The same one.
There's a gym down the street from my house, and they've got those like neon LED strip lights along the mirrors, and they leave them on all the time. So like I can drive past the gym at 2 a.m. and those neon lights will still be on, even if there is no one there. So it's just neon lights and like punching bags through the window.
Ominous.
Mm-hmm. Normal.
I have to say, when you said that the gym was in Old Town, the phrase, "I'm gonna take my bones to the Old Town gym," manifested in my mind, and
That's the subtitle of the episode.
I was going to say, that's a better title than I gave the episode, so congratulations, Kestrel, on the episode's new title. It's much better than mine. Which I think I titled it Find Your New Shape or something like that.
Yeah.
But yes.
Yeah.
Cool. Thank you for checking. But yeah, Maria drives. I will be NPC playing Maria for today so that we let her finish out this case in some way.
Make sure that Quinn's new character knows how to drive.
Oh yeah. I will check in with Quinn and make sure that our other player's new character knows how to drive.
If they don't, we're literally gonna have to take the bus, and I'm not sure which one is like. I know which one is funnier, but I don't know if it's better.
I guess like if all else fails, Damien can drive. He just chooses not to. I also think Vivian can drive. Maybe. I'm not sure. But yeah, I will check in with Quinn about that because yeah, you've lost your driver. Alina is capable of driving, but not legally.
That's been established, yeah.
But yeah, so Maria drives you from the hospital to Old Town. Old Town is as it sounds. A lot of the buildings are older architecture ranging from when this town was founded in like the mid to like early to mid 1800s, and they've just been sort of retrofitted up through like the newest buildings in Old Town were built in like the early 20s and 30s, before they started expanding the town outwards and kind of abandoned this area. And then new businesses have tried to revive it in like, you know, that kitschy way where every town's old town is like a tourist attraction where they've taken the old buildings and made them into new fancy boutiques, that kind of thing.
Gentrification.
Gentrification, yeah, exactly. It's the gentrified zone. It's also where like City Hall and things are, because those are also older buildings. So there's lots of parking because of this, which is nice. And the gym itself is in a converted old factory warehouse, essentially. It's one of those big industrial revolution looking buildings that's just kind of like a 2-story brick warehouse with some weird little windows. But there are more windows on the bottom floor. Like they've added windows essentially. And then on the top floor, they kept the weird like industrial windows. But it's just a big brick facade from the outside.
Right.
With an uncharacteristically new looking sign that says New Shape Fitness. Like they did not make the sign fit the aesthetic in any way, shape, or form.
They just couldn't be bothered.
They could not.
Let's, how do we approach this? I also forgot how Alina sounds.
We could just go in and say we want to have a membership, and then when something weird happens, we fuck it up.
I guess we could apply for like a family membership.
Apia like looks at you guys and then like after a second says, "Do we look like a family?"
No.
One thing that I'm wondering though is, are we sure that this is malicious, for lack of a better word?
How do you mean?
Well, we know that generally speaking, not the entities, but the sort of the worshippers of the fears, if we want to put it in a dramatic light, tend not to be auspicious to others, and that's why we do what we do, even though we are also, in a sense, affected by these things. Now, my question comes in the form of, this gym clearly has some connection to the flesh, and it might have had let's say a regrettable effect on Miss
Corbin.
I was thinking Rex, the last name.
Rex.
I was saying Mr. Rex. That on Mr. Rex might have had an adverse effect, but that not entirely gets the. Now, it's not necessarily a malicious situation. That's what I'm saying. I always favor a what?
That's why I think we should just apply for a membership and see if anything weird happens.
The problem with that is that it might take a lot of time for that to happen. I tend to favor a more direct approach.
That is fair.
So I think we might just as well sort of talk straight to them, if you know what I mean. If you catch my drift, why did I say it like that?
Are you suggesting we walk inside and ask if they're doing flesh rituals?
Maybe not in those exact words, but something along the line, yes. Maybe
I'm not
enter
sure if they
sea.
would tell us.
Well, the let's say other cultists and things like that. Well, the things that go bump in the night tend to, once they realize we are onto them and that we are alike, they tend to open up. So,
Or try to light us on fire.
I mean, I could walk in and start trying to kill people, but that, I don't think my abilities would be exactly fitting to open a dialogue.
I mean, I guess I could go in and show them that I can do the same things they can, but I don't know if that will be meaningful.
I mean, yeah, if anyone can start a dialogue with them, it should be you, considering the affinity. But
I also think APA's idea of just getting a membership is fun.
I mean, if we pretend like we're interested, they might be more willing to open up to us.
They might give us a tour.
sure, let's try
That's
that.
also what I was thinking.
Let's try that and then see if we can, if we see anything that calls our attention, maybe we can start a more plain dialogue. Right?
Yeah.
Cool. Plan in motion then. Simple plans are better, I think.
Plans are great. I feel like we don't always have them, but that's okay.
Usually things are fairly straightforward.
Yeah. You enter the gym through the front door. Inside, it's been totally renovated. So, like, the outside looked old. The only thing they've kept is, like, do you know how when they renovate old buildings, sometimes they'll keep the, like, foundations and the poles and stuff for aesthetics? So, like, you can still see the brick work and, like, the metal poles holding up the ceilings and things. But other than that, this place has been entirely renovated. It's
Right.
very bright and fluorescently lit inside. There are mirrors on all the walls so you can watch yourself work out. There's all the modern workout equipment you could think of. There's a juice bar. There's like a place to have snacks and things. There's an elevator that says pools downstairs and classes upstairs, things like that. It's a very decked out place. And there is a sort of customer service counter towards the front where you can check in if you have a membership or talk to someone if you are interested in signing up.
APA hangs back just a little bit behind the rest of the group because they don't want to risk accidentally frying this place's computers.
That's
I just realized that the 2 players left are the most antisocial of the bunch.
It's going good.
It's going good.
Doing great.
Who will stop us now from just killing everyone?
I think you've got a new system. It's just that you go in and you light the place on fire. It's worked out great thus far. There has been no problems with it. But yeah.
Just go to the front desk, I think. That will be best.
Sounds good. There is a fit-looking young woman behind the desk. About, I don't know, average build, but fit. And she smiles and says, "Hi, how can I help you today? I don't think I've seen your face before."
No, I don't think so.
APA like kind of leans forward a little bit. They're like a lot taller than I think the rest of the party.
Yes,
So they're like,
I mean, no, Alina, we said that Alina
right,
was
Alina's
fairly tall.
I forget.
She's like
Alina's
6 feet tall.
Apia's like 7'2".
Yeah.
I mean, Alina is tall, but APA is just huge.
I think
Yeah,
Annette
Apia
Maria
like
is
leans
5'3".
forward a little bit, like not a lot, but a little bit, and says like while looking down at them, like not like down, but like you know,
Down.
Yeah, we'd like to apply for memberships here.
Oh, yeah, of course. Let me grab some paperwork for you. And she sort of like looks at Alina and is like, are you interested in our senior health package? A lot of insurances cover this place for free, so you wouldn't even have to pay. I can look it up for you.
Sure.
She like does some computer work and prints out a few forms and hands them to you. And she says, we've got a variety of different packages depending on what you're interested in. Some of them include classes. Some of them just include use of the equipment. We are open 24 hours to members, so you can come in at any time if you're a night owl or an early bird, that sort of thing. But our classes only run during standard business times.
We would like to get a tour of the place if that's possible.
Oh, yeah, of course. I can't do that for you, but I can call Dane. Give me 1 second.
Sure.
The phone has a quick conversation. He'll be right with you. He's one of our owners, so he'll be much better to give you a tour around. I'm just a receptionist.
Right.
Apia like turns around and fills out some of the paperwork like against the wall because they don't want again to get too close to the computers.
She like looks at you and is like, "Do you want a clipboard?"
No, I'm all right. As
Okay.
Apia's like, you know how hard it is to like write on paper on brick?
Yeah. Okay. Goes back to sitting at her desk, answering phones every now and again. After about 5 minutes, a very large person comes down the stairs from the top. Just like imagine like a muscle bear. That is what you're looking at.
Okay.
And he comes down very jovial, like making his way down the stairs and saying hi to folks. He clearly knows everyone here. And comes in and says, "Oh, you must be the people who wanted a tour, right?"
Yes.
I'm Dane. I'm one of the co-owners. Chet's not here today. But...
Nice to meet you.
Yeah, we got our recommendation from
a friend.
A friend.
Apia like fills in. Apia kind of
really
awkwardly.
well.
We're really
kind of awkwardly
normal family.
Shake their hand.
Dane takes your hand in a like really firm, jovial handshake.
Cool.
And says, "Yeah, let me give you a tour. Come on, follow me." And he like, "Is there anything in particular you want to look at, or do you want like the grand tour?"
No, we would like to see the entire place.
Sounds good. Well, this is our main floor. This is our sort of do-it-yourself kind of floor. It's got all the workout machines. We've got trainers on hand if you don't know how to use them, but we do recommend that you come with a spotter just in case. It's always safe to spot when you work out. And he like sort of leads you through the machines, and like about half of them are in use. It's a fairly busy time of day. Sort of like
Lena has no idea what this man is saying.
Good, because I'm pulling things out of my ass about workout machines.
Yeah.
I actually used to go to the gym a lot, and I've taken like 4 weight training classes. So I know a thing or two about gym.
And sort of like pointing out the different machines and what they're good for and how they work different muscles and things like that. And like midway through explaining, we'll like lean in and spot someone or like compliment them on their gains. Very like positive gym bro energy. this man gives off.
Sick gains, bro.
Sick gains. Like, oh, your delts are looking great.
I have to also point out that Apia is not wearing anything close to workout gear. They're wearing like a trench coat and a hoodie.
Yeah.
Alina always dresses like in old Victorian dresses. So.
And I think Maria is wearing like one of her usual like big, nice, oversized sweaters and some pants. So like absolutely none of you are dressed for the gym.
This is so dumb.
But like,
we're all so unbelievably stupid.
Our group, just like the aesthetics, scream RPG party of adventurers.
It's like,
everyone looks like a weirdo.
That post that's like when you and your 4 gay friends all show up to the same event dressed for different events.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the party.
Yeah.
But none of you are dressed for the event at hand in any way.
Yeah, Apia kind of looks like they've been sleeping outside.
And he's not asking any questions about that. He might have been a little confused about Alina for a second because she does look like any one of these machines could kill her at a moment's notice. But he hasn't asked any questions. And just just sort of like commenting on folks as he walks past and like patting them on the shoulder, things like that. But yeah, this is our solo floor. Most people spend most of their time here because it's open all the time. Downstairs we've got pools, and upstairs we've got class spaces. If you want to take a look at those, where would you like to go first?
Let's see the class space. Is there a class currently?
There's one class happening. There's a hot Pilates class, like temperature hot, not like, you know.
Alina just stares at him like.
Never mind. Sorry.
Like confused.
Joke didn't land. Sorry about that. All right, let's go on up then.
I think it's really funny because whenever I picture Apia in my mind, it's like somebody took like a JPEG and just went like this.
Correct.
Because they're like incredibly thin, but also like incredibly tall. So, freaking
Apia might have to
TV.
duck a little bit to get into the elevator.
They look like Mike TV at the end of Willy Wonka.
Yeah, you hop in the elevator. It's a converted industrial elevator, so like it definitely used to be like an industrial elevator, but they've updated it to be up to code essentially. Doesn't take too long to go up, and then you're out on a different floor. And this floor of the warehouse has been subdivided into rooms with varying degrees of like separation. So like some of them have totally like see-through glass walls, and some of them have frosted glass walls, and some of them have like not like cement walls, depending on like what the rooms are for and things like that. One of the doors is closed, and there's a sign on it that says like "Do not disturb, class in progress." It's one of the rooms with frosted windows, so you can't see into the classroom. But the rest of them are empty. And he starts leading you through and explaining, like, this is where we have our dance classes. They've got the mirrors so that the dancers can see themselves while they dance. We've got the ballet bars and things like that. Over here, we've got our spaces for more, like, martial artsy style classes and things like that. We also do our cardio dance classes in here, like Zumba, things like that. The floor is better for dancing and moving than some of our other rooms. The room that's closed right now is the room that we can temperature control, so we can heat it or cool it depending on what the class needs. Sort of explaining all the spaces.
At some point,
when we reach one of the empty rooms, sorry, you were saying, Abia, I have something in mind, but I want to give Abia a chance to do something else if they want to.
Yeah, I wanted to, Apia wants to ask, I can't remember his name.
Dane.
Dane. He's one of the co-founders.
Yep. The two co-founders are Dane and Chet.
Okay. Wow. Sorry, I just had to take a second because the force of the frat boy energy hit me like a truck. So AP is going to ask Dane, so what made you and Chet want to found a gym?
I mean, like, there's like a couple of reasons. One was we didn't like any of the gyms in town in terms of whether they were too small or just not the right energy and things like that. But also, we really liked the like freedom of the Chet and I went to school together, and the gym on campus let you come all the time. So we liked the freedom of having that sort of all around the clock sort of thing, but also a little bit more structure. Yeah, and so we got out of school. I have a degree in sports medicine. He's got a degree in business. And so we thought, yeah, let's start a gym. And this place, this building, they were like, the rent is ridiculously cheap considering how much space it is. When we saw it on the market, we thought they had forgotten a zero or something. But apparently no one wanted to rent this building.
I have a question, Dane.
Okay.
Do you know what this place, you rent this place, right? You're not the owners.
Yeah.
Do you know what it was used for before you put the gym?
Before the gym, it was empty for a long time. I want to say like at least 50 years, they were saying. Like, it's had different owners, and it wasn't for rent for a while because it was not condemned, but like they hadn't renovated it, so it wasn't safe. But a long time ago, like back in the 50s, and like from when it was built till the 50s, it was like a slaughterhouse and a meat packing plant, I think. Something like that.
Yeah. That's what I thought you were going to say.
I mean, we've done a lot of cleaning and a lot of work to make sure it's not like that. I mean, it's not like, I promise, we have cleaned the place down and rebuilt it. But
APA like quickly backtracks and says like, oh no, Alina just knows a lot about architecture and was thinking about it based on the style of the outside of the building.
Oh, yeah.
It's a very nice building.
Yeah, I mean, I like the space. It does, some people do get uncomfortable about it. And again, that's one of the reasons I think the rent was so cheap, because no one wanted to rent a building that had that kind of history. But it made our bottom line real cheap, so I went with it.
How do I put this? Is there any part of the building that hasn't yet been renovated? Or that keeps more of the old parts, maybe the basement?
Aside from the parts with the pool, yeah, I mean, we renovated to put the pools in, but there's like storage spaces and the utility cabinets and things down there that essentially, aside from updating the tech to make sure that we had up to security code things and water heaters and everything, we just kind of left the rest of the building the same.
You seem nice. Could you show me
Panic?
Could you show me that bit of the building? I'm like, my nephew said, I am really into architecture and I would like to see it, if that's okay with you.
Yeah, sure. I mean, I'm gonna have to ask that you don't touch anything, some delicate equipment, and some of the parts of the building are a little bit less safe to walk around. We haven't really upped the access in them, but yeah, I can take you down there when we see the pools. It's fine.
I do like to swim. ABS does it with that cadence as well.
We're the least convincing.
I do enjoy swimming.
I know about water,
It's like
PbtA doesn't have enough fat on their body to do anything other than sink like a rock.
oh. But yeah, Dane will take you from the upstairs to the downstairs, all the way down to the basement. It's like there's like one room of the basement is dedicated to the like big Olympic sized pool with the lanes that folks are swimming in. Like people are actively swimming right now. And then there's also like a sauna room and things like that. And then there are a few doors marked like employees only, do not enter, that sort of thing. But he gives you the rundown of the sauna rooms and the pool first, tells you about them before. And this room has sort of that raw look as well, in terms of like they have like made the pool and things up to code, but they've left the like arches and pillars of the original building standing.
Right.
And opens the door to like sort of a back hallway that leads to like storage facilities and the like utility room and things like that. And you are now in a older part of the building that hasn't received the same treatment that you might be used to.
I know that none of us have like the power ability to pick up vibes, but just generally, are we getting any vibes?
You are.
Would
are
Maria?
Maria does. I can roll for Maria.
Would Maria be able to detect check the vibes of the place?
Maria
Let's
has
vibe check this gym.
Maria has been experiencing the strongest vibes of her life since you arrived.
Cool.
Like, she hasn't said anything. Let me roll. Yeah. She hasn't said anything, possibly because there's a person here who doesn't necessarily know what's up. But, oh God, sorry.
Water?
Yes. Water, laptop, not good. I will be right back.
I had a weird idea that I'm gonna bounce off of room when they get back.
I'm hesitant to kill this guy because he seems nice.
Yeah, I have an idea, but I'm not sure how I can communicate it to you guys.
I was thinking of just confronting the guy about the weird things, but now I don't know if he knows. What
I was thinking about was if you guys can keep him distracted and out of the way, I can just turn into him and go pretty much anywhere in the building and start poking things.
Yeah, but I don't know if necessarily that will
It's not your fault. You didn't put them there.
Get what we want.
I know, I just mean that nobody will question it if I turn into like the receptionist or something.
Yeah, but
like
you can do that pretty much at any time though.
Yeah.
Because the place is open 24/7, so we could come back later and you can do that.
It is a possibility.
I am wondering how to probe sort of like I want to know if he knows, but I don't know how to ask without getting kicked out. Like, do you have any extra muscles? How many bones do you have?
One thing I was thinking about asking was about the turnover rate, like how many people stay here and how many people just sort of stop coming, because that could tell us some stuff about like how often this is happening.
I'm so sorry about that.
But I don't know if that would be particularly helpful. I'm trying to figure out like how we're gonna do this.
I might just
but my brain is small.
If they kick us out, you can later come back as the guy in disguise, I guess.
Yeah.
I'm so.
I guess before you confront him, Apia's just going to ask, how often are you at the gym? Just curious in case I end up having any questions.
Sorry, 1 second. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. I was not sure. Sorry about that.
Okay.
We were
fine.
planning while you were away, so it's fine.
I'm glad you got some time
We kept
to
the people
plan
entertained,
while I panicked.
discussing if we were going to kill the guy or not.
While I just absolutely panicked, worrying about my laptop.
Yeah, that's important.
It's sorry. There's also water on my screen, and I have a touch screen, so my laptop is currently having some thinking that someone is using the screen when it is not being used because it's kind of wet. Sorry. Where was I? What was I doing? I was telling you about Maria. I was telling you that Maria has been experiencing the strongest vibes she's ever felt in her life, and has like sort of like a not an expression of discomfort, but like a very like introspective, she's paying attention to her insides kind of expression.
I will sort of, as the guy is like speaking and showing us the place,
yeah,
I will sort of take Maria aside while leaving sort of Apia to kind of distract Dane. And I will take Maria aside for a bit and say, is this man touched? Can you tell?
I mean, probably in the way that everyone is here. It's kind of overwhelming, actually. Like, it's kind of like walking into a room where everyone is a redhead and asking me if I can find a redheaded person.
Right. The place itself obviously is touched.
Yeah.
Can you find the center of like the source? Can you sense it?
Probably. I can try at least.
Try.
Okay. These are my they're
nice.
called Bloody Teeth.
Oh wow.
They're a custom set that I got. And they look like that.
I love them.
I normally use them for Strahd. That is a 13.
Wow, okay. Go off.
Go off, Maria. She sort of like looks around and makes sure no one's paying attention, because the last thing she wants is someone to watch her contact a flesh entity. And then sort of like sits and feels the vibes of the space and feels the energy that's pulsing up from underneath. And like from here in the basement, the connection is strongest, because it appears that the like epicenter of this energy is like directly beneath your feet, but a little bit further into the building. So like down the hallway that you are not quite down yet, but then beneath in a sub basement or maybe a space underneath the building.
Cool. Ideally,
and she relays this information to you.
Yeah. Ideally, we will get to that point during like in a short order. Do I feel like Dani's skittish is not the word, but does he seem like nervous in any way?
Do you want to roll tact to just sort of
Sure.
like get a read on him?
Yeah, I want to get a read on him, because if this place has like, I don't know, a mouth on the floor, and he's about to throw us down there, he might be somewhat. Yeah, I got a 5, so I don't know.
Yeah, you can't get much of a read on him. He seems like a really excitable gym bro. That's about all
I do
you've
get
got.
experience, right?
You do, because you failed.
I level up.
Oh, congratulations.
No,
You take a look and pick your thing now, or you can pick it later, whatever you'd like to
I'll pick it later. Brain is not working that good.
Valid.
So
but yeah. How's Apia doing? Dane has just been talking their ear off about the pool.
Yeah, Apia does want to ask, so how often are you here?
I'm here for 4 to 5 days a week, depending on my personal schedule and if I've got other things going on. And whatever days I'm not here, Chet's here. Some days we flip-flop. Some days we're both here if we're teaching a class or just hanging out. But even if on an odd occasion that neither of us are here, we've got instructors who are like qualified to answer any questions if you've got concerns or whatever.
Like usually late at night?
Late at night's Chet's territory. He's a night owl. I'm more of an early bird. But at
the combination.
But at I don't know. Usually neither of us are here past 10. The late hours, we've got a couple of staff who main the front desk, and we've got some folks here to clean and sanitize, and then our usual sort of making sure no one gets hurt on the floor folks. But we don't have any of the admin staff here past 10.
Okay.
And I come in at 7. Technically, I come in at 5, but I work out for a couple hours and then I come in at 7.
Makes sense. Also, Apia is sort of looking around to see if there's any sort of like staff elevator that would require keys or like a key card or anything like that.
Do you want to make a thought roll to like look around?
Yes.
Go right ahead.
So 8, 9, 10. That's a 10.
Perfect. Yep, you spend some time looking around. From where you are, it doesn't appear that there is a separate elevator for staff. They use the same one. The only places that have been locked are the like staff-only doors in the basement, and they're on the main floor. There was like a staff break room that was also locked.
Okay. Do I remember if in the elevator there was another button other than the pool, or is that the lowest that the elevator goes?
That is the lowest the elevator goes.
Okay. We have to figure out how to get lower, though.
At the very least, this building only has like 3 floors, so to speak.
Okay. Fair enough.
So the room with the source of the thing might not be accessible.
You don't know if it's a room.
Yeah, but like the space where the source of the thing is coming from, the portal of the Nexus, whatever, is coming from.
The portal might not be a part of the building so much as it might be just underneath it.
Right, because I'm thinking, if I remember correctly, we had like a whole deal about architecture and the city hall and the something family. We haven't played in a while.
Crane, yeah.
Crane family.
The Crane family, who are some of the founding architects of this town. They built almost all of Old Town, along with they built their own family manor in the space that the Institute now occupies. They built the weird house that theater was doing, the weird avant-garde haunted house thing in, things like that. They have their buildings have cropped up more often in your work than is normal.
All
Yeah, I'm
right.
thinking this is definitely one of those cases.
Yeah, if you'd
Also,
like
the
to.
reason
Oh,
the
sorry.
reason Apia was looking for like a staff elevator or something like that is trying to figure out if they need to like sleight of hand steal keys from
From
like a
Dane.
card or something.
Dane has both physical keys and a key card. The key card, though, is kind of like one of those membership key cards that just like unlocks the space for you if you're a member. Any of the like employee only doors that he's had to unlock were like keys.
Okay.
I also feel like APA could just fuck up the computerized door handle thing.
That is definitely true.
Make it work.
Is the kind of area that we're in right now, does that use an electronic lock or like an analog lock?
The like the employee access tunnel you're in? It's a regular lock.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah, just a standard turn the key, open the door sort of thing. And as you're walking down the hallway and he's kind of like pointing out, since he thinks that you like architecture, he's in the least knowledgeable way about architecture possible, pointing out things about the architecture. So like he'll point at things and be like, yeah, that's a brick arch. It's really cool. And like it's very clear that he does not know what he's talking about, but he is trying to play to your sensibilities.
Right.
And
love
sort of
himbo.
yeah. And like as you're walking, Maria is keeping that sort of awareness that she put up going so that she can have some idea. And you come to like sort of the end of this little hallway space. Is the like boiler room where the pool heater water and the showers is and stuff. And like she like reaches out for your hand, Apia, and just kind of like grabs it to steady herself.
Mm-hmm.
And like you can feel that she's like physically vibrating. Like not only is she shaking anxiety wise, like her body is vibrating, her muscles are vibrating.
Well, that's
just
no
vibing.
good.
She's vibing.
Wild.
Can I sense, similar to how the Institute had like a kind of life? Can I say something like that?
Yeah. Did I make you roll for that, or was that just a thing you can do?
No, I think I rolled at the time and I knew that I could, with great effort, try and snuff out that sort of
energy.
Sort of I don't know how better to describe it than a heart-ish.
A heart-ish, yeah. Yeah, you can go ahead and do the same sort of roll to see.
So when I see that Maria is sort of not feeling great.
Yeah.
But might it hurt her?
You don't know.
I'm just going to be plain. I will look at Apia and say, get her out of here.
All right. So Apia says basically to Dane, I'm sorry, she's not feeling well, so thank you for the tour. We're going to go.
Yeah, of course. I hope you feel better.
Can Maria walk, or do I need to carry them?
She can walk. She's just having a like stumbling, not feeling a little sort of not out of touch with her body, but almost too in touch with her body, where every movement is like she's hyper aware of it, and so it's difficult.
Yeah. Abia will offer to carry Maria if she wants.
It might be better if you did, actually.
Yeah. So Apia picks up Maria like this.
Yep.
Is just gonna carry them out.
So Alina will stay where she is, wait for the other two to leave.
Dane looks a little bit frightened that you have not left with your nibblings.
And Alina will say, you seem fine, Dane, so I really do hope that this does not impact you in any negative way. If
Incredibly
that's
cryptic.
the case, then this will just seem like some cryptic old woman doing a cryptic thing, and you will go on the rest of your life being fine. If you are not what you seem to be, you are about to die, I'm afraid. So if that's the case, make your peace. And
What?
she will just try to take out the entity, exorcise it.
Go ahead and roll.
Please, this is power, right?
This is power.
Okay. Oh, good. 12. Total.
12. A total success. You sort of stand here in the middle of the room, and it happens in like this like weird sort of time almost slows down for you as Dane like freaks out because you said you're going to die, and he like has begun to back away from you, not sure what you mean by that. Like towards the door, like he's gonna run. But you've kind of stopped paying attention to him in any way and have focused instead on the energy that's just kind of like pulsing under your feet like a heart. And like sort of seeing what you can do with it and trying to wrap your way through it and work out the pieces. It's not a life in the way that human lives work. It's more of like a door, essentially, is a better way to describe it. And so your power doesn't work necessarily the way you think it would. It doesn't extinguish it entirely. What you are able to do with such a high roll.
My logic was that since my power has to do with not so much with killing people as
cutting them
separating
off. Yeah.
entities from people, and
from
that
people,
results in people dying, I thought it might still apply to this kind of situation.
Yeah, I'm getting there. I hadn't finished describing yet.
Yeah.
You sort of feel the energy kind of like retract and sort of recoil back from the influence that you exert. And there is a shift in the very atmosphere of this space as some of the energy appears to kind of sag out of the building. And like, if you are looking, but I'm not sure if you are, like Dane sort of like having been moving back and like getting ready to run kind of like doubles over, hurt as that same energy that has been sort of like permeating the space was also a part of him from how long he spends here, whether intentionally or unintentionally, you're not sure. And like he like doubles over in pain and then keeps moving out of the building as you sort of cut off pieces of this energy like limbs and seal it back further and further into this hole. You can't totally close off the influence that this entity has. This is like a portal that this entity has built for centuries onto the earth, but you have cut down all of its limbs to where it's just sort of this like pulsating sensation in the floor, and it is no longer permeating the entire building.
Cool. is Dane still in the room, or has he sort of fallen unconscious, or what
He stumbled and tripped and is not unconscious, but he's like leaning up against the wall, like on the floor.
Cool. Alina will turn to Dane. She will take a breath because this was quite an effort.
Yeah.
And she says, "You're gonna be fine."
What the fuck?
And then Alina will sort of look around and she will say, "Crane, if you're waiting for me to die of old age before we end this thing, you're gonna be waiting for a long time. So I guess you better come at me." And she will take a moment and then leave the room and the building.
On your way, APA, I'll say you probably make it out before Alina does this. I imagine that you wait a minute or so to let APA get out of the building. But sort of like through the from outside through the windows, you see like several people are like holding their heads or like their stomachs, or they've like felt they've pulled a muscle, as sort of the energy that was essentially making certain that they never messed up sort of fades out, and the like rapid muscle mass and bone mass gain sort of like catches up to all of these people, and they're like, and then pulls back. Like they have an instant where they're horrifically aware of the fact that suddenly they definitely have more bones than they should, and then that awareness turns off and their bodies kind of slump back into a natural state, just very exhausted, tired, experiencing chronic pain, migraines, those sorts of things, as their body sort of adjusts to no longer having this influence being exerted on it through the windows.
I feel like I'm not helping.
I mean, you are. You've stopped them all from becoming flesh monsters, essentially, which is what they would have all become over time. It just, in the moment, that sensation of having all of this muscle and power and energy and then have it pulled away from you in an instant is tiring. They're going to need some rest, is really what it is. But yeah, Dane sort of like gets up and like stumbles after him. He's like, what did you do? What's happening?
Alina will, as she's leaving, she goes, and she can't speak because she doesn't have any air as she's leaving the building, and she will say nothing. She will go like, and just go. Like a ghost.
Like a ghost? Yeah, and he just kind of like watches you both leave, very confused and very just like exhausted. And then starts, turning to all of the folks in the gym and checking in on all of them, because he's noticed that all of them are also experiencing these very adverse side effects.
Say no to fear, gods.
Yeah.
Wieners don't use the flesh or something.
Those like don't do steroids commercials, but it's don't make deals with otherworldly entities so that you can lift more, please.
It's not worth it.
It's not worth it. And you, when you get back, Maria is looking a little pale, like unwell, but not nearly as rough as the folks who were in the building itself, but a little unwell, a little drawn in the face, and just kind of like leaning back in her driver's seat chair, like, thanks.
Alina will nod with the oxygen mask
on. What happened in there?
Takes a mask. I think I might have gotten the attention, hopefully, of whatever's been causing all the trouble around town.
Good? Not good, but good?
No, kind of.
I don't think they were hurting people. Not on purpose.
I don't think Dan knew anything about this.
Anything?
Yeah.
They're gonna be fine.
That's good. I mean, I guess the gym is still gonna be okay. Just won't be weird anymore. You didn't have to kill anyone this time.
Gyms are weird regardless, I think, at least.
I don't think they're going to let us back.
Yeah, I guess we can give up on the family membership.
Honestly, I don't mind.
Yeah, not your thing?
Sorry, out of character. It's doing that really fun thing outside where it's not raining and then all of a sudden it's raining very, very hard.
Pacific Northwest solidarity handshake.
He moved.
Yeah. Pacific Northwest solidarity handshake.
Yeah.
It's the same here.
I'm thinking if there's anything else. No, I think we can call this a wrap.
Yeah. It is approximately our normal break time. Do you want to take a break and then come back and do miscellaneous tasks, or would you like to have the stream end at the end of the case?
I am good with trying to do. Alina's still trying to sort of find both answers to this whole sort of the overarching plot, and also trying to find cells. So I can do something with that, but I don't know if. How are you up to Kestrel?
I'd be all right with that. I mean, Apia has things they can do.
Okay. So we're going to take a quick 10-minute break-ish here. And when we get back, we'll do some miscellaneous housekeeping scenes with Alina and Apia. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Haven of Horrors. We've had a bit of discussion, and we're actually going to save some of the deeper investigation work for when we have more players, just because right now we only have 2 of them, and it wouldn't really feel solid. So we're actually going to end the stream here. Sorry for making you wait through a break just to have us end the stream, but we will be back in a couple of weeks. So let's go in reverse order. Would you like to go first, Ro?
Sure. I'm Ro. I've been playing Alina, and you can find me on Twitter at RoViolich, or you can go read the webcomic that I make with my partner. I write and my partner illustrates. It's called Of Dwarfs and Men, and you can look it like that on Twitter, or you can go to the site, which is rlfcomics.com. We are currently in a bit of a hiatus, but we'll be back at some point. And you can support us on Ko-fi or on Patreon. If you go to the site or the Twitter, the links will be there.
And Kestrel.
Hi, I'm Kestrel. I use these them theirs pronouns. I have been playing Apia, who uses they them theirs pronouns. That little monster is Scout, and he uses he him his pronouns. You can find me on Twitter as Vaporwave Nashira without the E, because Twitter is homophobic. I also have an art Twitter, which is Azelphaphage Art. Which I'm sorry, that's hard to spell.
And I'm Rue, and I have been your narrator for today. You can find me on Twitter as @IlanaKnight13 and anywhere else as Ilana Knight without 13, because at 12 I made a Twitter, forgot the password, and cursed myself for all of eternity. Our player who is leaving us is Birdie. Birdie, who uses she/they pronouns, used to play Maria, who uses she/her pronouns, and who I've been taking over for today. They will be back to join us for a one-shot in which we see Maria off. But in the meantime, you can find her at Elephant Bird with the 3 for the second E, so L3 Fint Bird, where they do cosplay stuff, which is really cool. And their personal Twitter, I think, is Pekosaba, if I remember correctly. So we will see you back here 2 weeks from today. So the 29th, I think, is the next day we're playing, where we will have a new cast member who we will introduce, and also a new case to do. So thank you very much for joining us on our spooky gym trip today.
Bye.